What's going on, everybody? It's Underdog MLB, and today is part 2 of the series where I take a look at the Future Stars players from MLB Show 17. There were 48 Future Stars cards back in 17, and in part 1 of this series, I took a look at the 85 to 87 golds. If you did miss part 1, make sure to go check it out. It'll be in the top right-hand corner. Today, I'll be going over the 88 and 89 golds, as well as all the Future Stars diamonds. Now, if you're wondering why 88 and 89 overall players are gold, since obviously those are diamonds in MLB Show 20, I would definitely go back and at least watch the first couple minutes of part 1, where I went over in detail the overall scale changes they implemented since MLB The Show 17. But today, I'm just going to get right into what you guys came here for, which is analyzing what has happened to the Future Stars of MLB The Show 17. Our first player is the 88 overall Alex Verdugo. Verdugo only got regular playing time for the first time last year, and he did very well, hitting .294 with 12 homers and a 114 OPS plus in 106 games. The only problem is that 2019 is Verdugo's only good year in the majors so far. As of now, Verdugo is a 78 overall silver in this year's game. The Red Sox acquired Verdugo as the main return piece in the Mookie Betts trade, which is very high praise. They're obviously taking a huge risk by trading a former MVP for a guy that has only had 1 year of success. But at the same time, Verdugo is a younger, cheaper option who has more years of team control and still has lots of potential. And now that Betts and Price's contracts are partly off the books, the Red Sox might be 1 or 2 pieces away from being in contention for another title with Verdugo at the core. The next player is the 88 overall Josh Hader. Last video, we saw only one player that ever achieved the diamond status in MLB The Show. This time, we already have a diamond in our second player. I think it's safe to say nobody expected Hader would be at this place in his career 3 years ago. First of all, his Future Stars card was a starting pitcher, while today he is a relief pitcher who is really the only one of his kind. Hader has been used as both a long reliever, pitching up to 3 innings per outing, and as a closer for the Brewers. Hader has a career .242 ERA, 0.85 WHIP, and 1.78 ERA+, and has been named the NL Reliever of the Year in both 2018 and 2019. Hader is considered by many the best reliever in the game, and that is reflected by his 88 overall live series rating, the highest of any reliever or closer in MLB The Show 20. Up next is 88 overall Jose De Leon. Unfortunately for De Leon, he really has not had an opportunity to live out his potential in the big leagues. In 16 and 17, De Leon only pitched a combined 19.2 innings with the Dodgers and Reyes. In the spring training of 2018, De Leon had to have Tommy John surgery and was not able to return to the MLB until late last year, where he pitched only 4 innings. De Leon, who is currently a 68 overall this year, was traded to the Reds this offseason, where he may have an opportunity to get a fresh start on a contending Cincinnati team. We'll have to see whether De Leon rediscovers his elite potential or becomes one of those promising former prospects whose career was derailed by injuries. The next 2 players are probably both in the top 5, maybe even top 3 glitchy players in MLB The Show. They are also both in my starting lineup at Diamond Dynasty right now. The first guy is Raul Mondesi, though he goes by Adalberto now. Mondesi is currently a 78 overall, but he got an 85 overall Player of the Month card in 2018 that has made its return in MLB The Show 20 due to popular demand. If I'm being honest, I don't know how much Mondesi actually deserves his 78 overall live series rating. In 177 games between 2018 and 2019, Mondesi has had a pretty mediocre 97 OPS plus and an on-base percentage below 300. However, he does play pretty good defense and has elite speed, and if SDS wants to sugarcoat Mondesi's stats, I don't think anyone will complain. The other glitch that I was referring to earlier is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Gallo. Gallo, who is now an 83 overall, has always been insane in the game, no matter his rating. He has elite power, a swing that generates exit velocities that are unmatched, pretty good defense, great positional versatility, and one of the best arms in the game. The one thing holding Gallo back in his career was always his contact ability. Gallo made headlines last year for becoming the first player in baseball history to hit 100 career homers before hitting 100 career singles. However, last year, Gallo hit for contact as well as power in an injury-shortened season, earning him his first career All-Star appearance. Gallo increased his batting average 47 points, his OPS 176 points, and his walk percentage 4.7% in 2019 compared to the previous year. And as it turns out, Gallo himself is just as good at MLB The Show as his player is, as he went 23-6 in the MLB The Show Players League. The next player is 88 overall Francis Martes. Martes has not appeared in a Major League game since 2017 and doesn't even have a live series card in Diamond Dynasty this year. In 2018, Martes started the year in AAA but only pitched in 5 games. By August, the Astros announced that Martes would need Tommy John surgery. Last spring, while he was rehabbing, Martes was suspended 80 games for using performance-enhancing drugs. Late last season, Martes pitched in a few games in the low-level minors and was expected to finally play an important role in the Astros heading into the 2020 season. That all came crashing down a couple months ago, as Martes was suspended a second time for using PEDs, this time for 162 games. Like, dude, the Astros don't need any more cheaters. Anyways, I don't know how his suspension is going to work with the shortened season this year, but there's a strong possibility he will be on the restricted list well into 2021. At this point, I would be very surprised if Martes were ever given regular playing time on a Major League team. Up next is the 88 overall Erick Fedde. Fedde definitely hasn't panned out since 2017, as he's a 63 overall in this year's game. He's kind of been the Nationals' 6th or 7th starter, putting up a 4.91 ERA and 1.49 WHIP in 23 starts and 9 relief appearances in 2018 and 2019. His minor league stats haven't been that much better either, so I don't think it's very likely that he rediscovers his top prospect form anytime soon. Obviously, he's still only 27, so he's still got a few years to turn things around, but the odds of it happening, in my opinion, aren't that good. Dansby Swanson has been widely regarded as a bust for a few years now, as he was once a top 5 prospect in baseball. And while he hasn't developed into an elite player yet, he has improved each year he's been in the league, and has turned into a difference maker on a powerhouse Braves team. Last year, Swanson hit .251 with an 89 OPS plus and a career-high 17 home runs, and also played pretty average defense. He is currently a 75 overall in MLB The Show 20, and I think he's probably going to end up having a long career as a decent, but not great, shortstop. Moving on to our first 89 overall player, we have Alex Bregman. Back in 2017, Bregman had seemingly already reached his potential, hitting .284 with 19 homers and a 125 OPS plus, and leading the Astros to their first World Series title in franchise history. Anyways, Bregman has actually improved since 2017, blowing past everyone's expectations. In 2018, Bregman led the league with 51 doubles, was the All-Star Game MVP, had a 152 OPS plus, and finished 5th in AL MVP voting. In 2019, he was even better, leading the league in walks, improving his defense significantly, posting a 162 OPS plus, and finishing runner-up in MVP to the second coming of Babe Ruth himself. Bregman has already amassed a 22.4 WAR according to Baseball Reference through his age 25 season, and is well on his way to being a Hall of Famer. That is, unless the voters are swayed by the cheating scandal. Next up, we have the 89 overall Luis Gohara. Gohara only pitched 14 games in the majors between 2017 and 18, both as a starter and a reliever. He put up an underwhelming 5.33 ERA in that span, but his whip actually wasn't terrible at 1.31. Last year, Gohara missed the entire season with a shoulder surgery and was released by the Braves in August. As of now, Gohara doesn't even have a live series card in MLB The Show 20. Gohara was signed to a minor league deal by the Angels, who gave him a non-roster invitation to spring training this year, so we'll see if he makes the team when the season hopefully starts later this year, but for now, Gohara has not proven himself in the big leagues thus far. And now we are finally getting to the Diamond Future Stars players. First up is Rafael Devers. Devers broke out big time in 2019, leading the league in doubles and total bases and reaching the 200 hit mark. He hit 32 homers, put up a 133 OPS plus, and got some MVP votes. Devers is currently an 81 overall in MLB The Show, but that takes into account the awful defense he brings to the table. Another year of similar production, and I could definitely see him going up to Diamond. Next is the 90 overall Lucas Giolito. Giolito had one of the best worst to first transformations of a young player in recent memory. In 2018, Giolito had a 6.13 ERA, 1.48 whip, and led the league in earned runs allowed and walks. Last year, Giolito posted a 3.41 ERA, which reached as low as the lower twos in May and June, had a 1.06 whip, nearly doubled his strikeout rates, and nearly halved his walk rates. Giolito, who is now an 80 overall gold, has now established himself as the ace of an up-and-coming White Sox team, and should be exciting to watch in the next few years as the Sox become contenders. Byron Buxton is in kind of the same boat as Dansby Swanson, as he definitely has not become the superstar everyone thought he would be. However, Buxton is still only 26, has become one of the best defenders in the league, and there are still many people who think this is the year that he'll finally have that breakout MVP season. He's won a Gold Glove, has a great arm, and has some of the best wheels in the entire league. The biggest thing holding him back has been offense. 2019 was the first year Buxton has ever had an OPS plus above 100, and he has not delivered in the power department at all, topping out at just 16 homers in 2017. Buxton is a 79 overall live series, and I think the moment he starts to turn it on offensively, he'll shoot up in rating and possibly enter the Diamond Club.
Where the diamonds, Ramon?
The next player to look at is Nomar Mazara. There may not be a player as consistently mediocre as Mazara. His batting average was from 2016 to 19. 266, then 253, then 258, then 268. His OPS pluses, 93, then 90, then 96, then 96 again. His home run totals, 20, then 20, then 20, then, wait for it, 19. Mazara is obviously very talented and has as much raw power as anyone in baseball, as evidenced by his 505-foot home run last year, tied with Trevor Story for the longest home runs in the StatCast era. He just hasn't been able to put all of his skills together and is stuck at a disappointing 74 overall. Hopefully his trade to the White Sox this offseason will help him become the top-tier player he was projected to be. Next, we have 90 overall J.P. Crawford. Crawford has not performed well at all in the bigs, putting up an 86 OPS plus and a 222 batting average in about a year's worth of games in his career. Crawford is only a 66 overall this year, but he still has lots of talent and had an 859 OPS in 34 minor league games last year, so he hasn't completely forgotten how to play. He just hasn't been able to put it all together in the majors. The Mariners seem pretty committed to him being their shortstop for the foreseeable future, and their only top 30 prospect who is a shortstop is Noel V. Marte, who has only advanced as far as rookie ball. Barring a trade, Crawford should have ample time to break out on this up-and-coming Mariners team. Luis Castillo has quickly grown into the ace of a very talented Red staff and one of the better pitchers in baseball. He made his first All-Star team last year and is widely regarded as having the best changeup in the entire game. Last year, Castillo had a 1.33 ERA plus, a 1.14 whip, and a 10.7 K per 9 rate. He's an 82 overall this year, so it's pretty safe to say he's lived up to the hype so far. But he's only 27, so I have to believe he's just getting started. Next up is the 90 overall Tyler Glasnow. Glasnow was a part of that lopsided Chris Archer trade that sent him to the Reyes at the 2018 trade deadline. At the time, Glasnow looked like one of those failed prospects, as at the end of the 2018 season, Glasnow had a 5.35 career ERA. But last year, Glasnow completely flipped the switch. and was one of the best pitchers in all of baseball for the first month and a half before being shut down through mid-September with a forearm injury. In 12 starts, Glasnow put up a 1.78 ERA with an 0.89 whip and 11.3 K per 9 rate, good enough to get him up to a 76 overall. Hopefully 2019 wasn't a fluke and he can pitch like that for a full season in 2021. The next player we have is 91 overall Amed Rosario. After 2018, many people started to write off the former top prospect, but Rosario actually had a sneaky good 2019. He hit for a .287 batting average and hit 15 bombs, which is about the max anyone thought he would hit in his prime. But Rosario isn't in his prime yet, he's only 24 and still improving. His OPS Plus was at 102 last year, right around league average, and he also has pretty good speed. The biggest hole in his game is defense, which was projected to be a strength of his. Still, he's a 77 overall live series, which isn't too shabby for a guy who's just 24. Walker Buehler has quickly risen to superstardom and already considered by many a top 10 starter in baseball. He's become the ace of a Dodgers staff that also features the best pitcher of our generation. And for the record, Kershaw is not washed at all. He had a 3.03 ERA last year and was top 10 in Cy Young voting. People just think he's washed because, the playoffs are a thing. But we're not talking about Kershaw here, we're talking about Walker Buehler. Buehler is currently an 86 overall, making him the third and final diamond in MLB The Show 20. This also means he's the only Diamond future star that is actually a Diamond this year. In 2018, Buehler posted a 2.62 ERA, an 0.96 whip, and finished third in Rookie of the Year voting. Last year, Buehler's ERA was a bit higher at 3.26, but his FIP was at 3.01, which was actually slightly better than the year before. He also improved his strikeout and walk rates, was named to his first All-Star team, and finished 9th in Cy Young voting. Could we be seeing two future Hall of Famers in the Dodgers rotation? I think it's very possible. Next is the 92 overall Jose Berrios. Berrios is the ace of a very good Twins team, but I actually don't think he's reached his peak yet. Sure, he's a very respectable 80 overall this year, and he has made the All-Star team both of the last 2 years, but his stats aren't super impressive. Over the past 2 seasons, Berrios has a 1.18 ERA+, a 1.18 whip, and a 3.88 FIP. Good numbers for sure, but not elite. Berrios has definitely established himself as an above-average pitcher in the league, but like I've been saying with a lot of these players, he's still young. At 25 years old, he's still got a couple years left before he hits his prime, so I think the best is yet to come for Jose Berrios. The 93 Alex Reyes was so much of a fan favorite back in MLB The Show 17 that it has made its return this year as part of the Classics pack in the XP Reward Path. Unfortunately, real-life Reyes has not enjoyed as much success as his Diamond Dynasty card, as he is now rated as a 66 overall. After a promising debut in 2016, a string of injuries has limited Reyes to just 5 big league games over the last 3 seasons. Tommy John surgery in 2017, a strained lat in 2018, a broken pinky finger from punching a wall in 2019. Reyes finally seems to be healthy this year, but it looks like the Cardinals are going to slot him into the bullpen, at least for the time being. Next up is the 94 overall Julio Urias. Urias has had a very similar career path to Alex Reyes, making a very impressive debut in 2016 before missing most of 2017 and 18 to injuries. Urias underwent anterior capsule surgery, which is the same procedure that caused the decline of Johan Santana. However, unlike Santana, Urias came back strong in 2019, posting a 2.49 ERA in 79.2 innings as both a starter and late-inning reliever, putting him at a 78 overall going into this year. The Dodgers plan on using Urias as a starter in 2020, which will hopefully be the year Urias can really break out now that he's healthy and in a consistent role. Next, we have 95 Andrew Benintendi. Benintendi looked like he was on track to potentially becoming a superstar, as he finished second in Rookie of the Year voting in 2017 and posted a 123 OPS plus in the Red Sox championship season of 2018. However, Benintendi took a step back last year, becoming a league average hitter and also regressing on defense. Given that the Red Sox are on the border between contention and mediocrity, Benintendi should become one of the biggest X factors for the Red Sox this upcoming season if it ever does happen. And last but not least, we have the 96 overall Yoan Moncada. I gotta admit, as a Cubs fan, I was a little mad when the White Sox traded for the former #1 prospect in baseball. So I was fully aboard the Moncada sucks bandwagon when he had a 96 OPS plus and led the MLB in strikeouts in 2018. But Moncada had a very good year last year, hitting .315 with 25 homers and a 141 OPS plus. In addition, he went from a bad defender at second base to a plus defender after switching to third base last year. At this point, he's not quite the elite player he was projected to be, but he's definitely a good player who should become a cornerstone for the White Sox for the next 5 years or so. Well, there you have it. Those are all of the Future Stars cards from MLB The Show 17 and what has happened to their careers since then. I really hope you guys enjoyed these 2 videos. I definitely enjoyed making them, but they also did take quite a while to do all the research and stuff like that. So if you guys did enjoy the video, I would definitely appreciate it if you did leave a like on the video. And if you are new to the channel and want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe. I've got MLB The Show videos as well as content about the MLB that I'm hoping to put out at least twice a week, so stick around if you're interested. And if you guys want me to do this again next year with the Future Stars from MLB The Show 18, make sure to let me know in the comment section. I think that's everything I need to say, so I'll see you guys in the next one.